Hey there everyone, Ramesh here. Welcome back with another video. In this video we are going to discuss an important topic guys, that is standard project structure for Spring Boot projects. So this video is very helpful for beginners to maintain a standard coding structure in Spring Boot projects. And I have written this blog post, and this blog post is very popular on my blog website. So I thought I could create a video on this so that it will help for Spring Boot beginners to maintain a standard coding structure in Spring Boot applications. Alright guys, and in this video I am going to suggest you two approaches that you can follow, either one, to create a standard project structure for Spring Boot projects. Alright, without any delay, let's get started. Guys, I typically use a 3-layer architecture or a 3-tier architecture in my Spring Boot applications. So I will come to this approach a bit later. Okay, let me explain you the first approach. So the first approach you can see here. This is the Spring Boot project structure typically recommended by Spring Boot team. So if you see all the Spring framework related projects, so they have used this kind of project structure. Okay, so this is kind of a feature specific project structure, we can say. For example, customer is a feature and order is a feature, and all the classes which are related to customer feature will be kept under customer package, and all the classes related to order feature will be kept under order package. Okay, so basically they have created a separate package for each feature. So there can be other feature like employee management or user management. So if you want to create a new feature, you can just go ahead and create a package. For example, let's say if we create a user management feature, for that we'll create a user package, and under user package we'll create all the Java classes. Like here you can see this is a customer feature, and with respect to customer feature we have created a customer package, and this is a customer JPA entity, and this is a customer controller. So this is a Spring MVC controller, and this is a customer repository. So this is basically a Spring Data JPA repository, and this is a customer service. It holds all the business logic, and similarly for order. Okay, so just remember this is the typical layout recommended by Spring Boot team. Okay, so you can follow this project structure in your Spring Boot projects. Or the second approach is, so look at here, so this is the second approach, and many developers prefer this kind of approach. So if you closely look at the screenshot, so this looks like a layer specific project structure. For example, we have controller layer, DAO layer, model layer, service layer, and inside a controller layer we keep all the Spring MVC controllers, and inside a DAO layer we create repositories. So we can create a DAO package or repository package, and inside this package we create repositories. Okay, and model, you can provide a name like model or domain or entity. So different developers uses different naming conventions for this layer. And we have a service layer. Inside a service layer we keep all the service classes which holds a business logic. Alright, it's pretty simple, right? So I typically follow this second approach, and if you can see in my Spring Boot projects or examples, I always follow 3-layer architecture. Okay, for example this one. So I typically use a 3-layer architecture in my Spring Boot projects. Like we have a controller layer or API layer, we have a service layer which holds the business logic, and we have a DAO layer or repository layer which holds the persistence logic. So typically most of the developer uses 3-layer architecture in Spring Boot projects. Okay, so let's talk about the static resources and the HTML files, etc. So in typical Spring Boot projects we can see the resources folder, right? And inside the resources folder we have static and templates folder. So Spring Boot team recommended to use a static folder to keep all the CSS and GSS files, and inside a templates folder we can keep all the template engine templates. For example, if we use Thymeleap, then we keep all the Thymeleap templates inside a templates folder. Alright guys, one more thing is, if you are using JSP in your Spring Boot web applications, then here is the standard project structure. So you can create one package, that is web app package, and inside that you can create a web INF folder. Within a web INF folder we can create a JSP folder, and inside that you can keep all your JSP files. Okay, so typically whenever you use JSP in your Spring Boot web applications or Spring MVC web applications, always keep your JSP files inside web INF folder, because client cannot be able to access the JSP pages which are there under web app or web INF folder. Okay, so we can provide a kind of security to our JSP files. So this is a typical project structure for Spring Boot or Spring MVC projects which uses JSP as a view layer. Alright guys, these are the two different approaches. So yeah, you can follow either one approach to create a standard project structure for your Spring Boot projects. The first approach is recommended by Spring Boot team, and the second approach is almost every developer uses this second approach, that is a layer specific or a 3-layer or 3-tier architecture. So I always use this second approach as a standard project structure in Spring Boot projects. Alright guys, let me know in a comment section which standard coding structure approach you want to use in your Spring Boot projects. So this is very helpful for beginners guys. So it doesn't matter what kind of project you are creating, you may create like POC or a small demo project. Okay, so always practice using standard project structure for Spring Boot projects. Okay, alright guys, that is pretty much I want to discuss in this video. So I will provide a link of this blog post in a video description, and this blog post is very popular on my blog website, so please take a look into it. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in next video.